Okay, now that you understand the basics of keto, let me help you with something else next. It's 5 tips that are rarely, if ever, taught on keto. And guess what? They are needed, they're necessary. So let's watch the next section where we talk about the 5 keto tips that are rarely, if ever, taught. Let's get at it. Did you know that 95% of people fail on diets? That's true. Is it true? Yep, it is. 95% of people fail on diets, but there's a secret to it. Let me show you what the secret is. 95% of diets fail people. That's right. You heard that right. It's not that the people fail the diets fail the people. And here's why. Because they're not customized to fit your needs. So you tried something that doesn't fit your needs. That doesn't mean that you failed. That means the diet failed you. So we're going to make sure that keto doesn't fail you. Ready? Here's what the training is going to be all about. We're going to break down your why. That may sound silly, but it's not. It's not. Every day you need to know your why. You need to know it off the top of your head. You need to spit it out of your mouth any second you're having moments of doubt. And we're going to explain that in a minute. But your why you're doing this is so incredibly important. We need to get you prepared. No, we're not talking about meal prepping. We're talking about being prepared. We also need you to understand fats. It's not at all what you think. You do not, or probably don't, understand fats, but we're going to explain it to you in a way that's going to make sense. And then you may understand why you didn't succeed at keto because no one ever explained this to you. The other thing you need to plan for success, but prepare for failure. Going to explain that in a minute too. And the other thing you need is a mentor. We're going to explain that in a minute. So, are you ready to jump in? Let's get started. Did you know your why will determine if you fail or succeed on keto? Now you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that is just not true. I know my why. I want to lose weight. Well, if your why is to just lose weight, you most certainly will fail. And here's why. We needed to lose weight a long time ago. It didn't come on overnight. We know that. We didn't wake up this morning and say, oh my gosh, I gained 50 pounds. That's terrible. I got to get this off. It didn't happen that way. So if it's just to lose weight, you've wanted to do that for a long time. It's got to be more. Here's what I teach our members. And we spend a lot of time with our why, with the members in our group. And here's why. If it's just to lose weight, that's not enough. Okay, so when you say, what's your why? I want to lose weight. Then ask yourself why. Well, I want to lose weight to get healthy. Okay, why? Well, I want to get off these meds. Okay, why? Keep asking that. Keep asking your why. You're starting at the bottom. The bottom is you want to lose weight. And you're actually drilling up to find out your ultimate why. What's your biggest motivator? It is more than just to lose weight. So keep asking the why. Well, I want to get off my meds, like I said. Okay, why? I want to get healthy. Okay, why? Well, I want to live longer. Okay, why? Keep asking that why. So we want to live longer. Okay, why? Well, I want to take this dream vacation, or I want to build this house on the lake, or I want to go on some fantasy cruise, whatever the case may be. I want to live to see my grandchildren grow up. I want to live to see my great-grandchildren. Now you're getting to your why. But don't just jump there. Start at the base. Start at why do you want to lose weight? What is it going to give you? Okay, I want to get healthier. I want to get off my meds. I want to do these things. Your why will determine it. So you have to have your why nailed down. So that way, every time you go to reach for that cookie, or every time you think you miss potatoes, or every time someone's offering you bread, you know your why. And then you look at that, what you're facing, that piece of bread, the cookie, the whatever the case may be, or I'm just done. I'm tired of this. I want my carbs back. If you know your why, if you know your ultimate why, you can say to yourself, I cannot have that because I want to live to see my great-grandchildren. I want to live to see my granddaughter graduate high school or graduate college. I want to take that dream vacation. And if you can spit it out of your mouth like an 8-second elevator speech, spit it out of your mouth in a heartbeat like it's drilled into you, then that will keep you on your journey. I know it sounds silly, but we have to know our why, not the baseline why, not the I want to lose weight why. We have to know our ultimate why, because you're going to be faced with challenges. You're going to be faced with temptations. And if you do not know the why off the top of your head immediately, so if someone comes up to you and says, why are you doing keto? You know exactly what to say to them. It's not so I can lose weight. That is not why you're doing this. Yes, it's the baseline goal, but it's not the ultimate why. It's not the ultimate goal. Once you know that, you can face temptations and you can face frustrations and you can face all the issues that you're going to face. It's going to happen. We've had this pattern that we have eaten for years and years and years. It takes more than 1 minute to kick that habit. It does. We're building a lifestyle. In our group, we build lifestyles. And with that comes knowing all kinds of other things other than what to eat. All kinds of things. So know your why. Drill it up. Start at the baseline. Start at I want to lose weight, but then keep asking why. And every time build on that until you don't have any more answers to your why. And that's your why. Practice it over and over and over again in your head, because when you face those temptations, your why will stop you from caving into them. Let's be honest. We've all caved into temptations, but your why will stop you. Most critical thing to help you succeed on keto is your why. So start thinking about your why. As you can see, your why is critical. You need to know it. So it's time to start working on your why. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? More than likely weight loss. Now, what keeps you up at night? That can be part of your why. Now, once you get those two questions answered, ask yourself why. And keep asking why. Keep asking why until there are no more answers. That is your why. That is critical. So figure out your why, because you're going to need it. You're going to need to change the habits you've had of a lifetime. But if you know your why and you've got it right in the forefront of your mind, right on the tip of your tongue, you're going to be just fine. Your why is important. Trust me. Now, let's move on to the second tip. Get prepared. Now, you're probably thinking meal prep, right? Yes, you have to do meal prep. I mean, that's just really kind of critical, but it's not what I'm talking about. You have to get prepared. So let's figure out what you have to prepare for. It is your body is now altering. When you do keto, your body changes. It changes how you get your energy. We all know that what we're trying to do is get our body to create ketones so we can go into ketosis and it can use our stored fats. And that's great. We all know that. Anyone who's looked at keto knows that. But what people tend to ignore is our bodies have changed. So now you have to give your body some things that's missing before you start keto. So electrolytes. I preach this in the group all the time. There's tons of supplements out there that people buy into, and that's fine. Those are personal choices. But you have to have electrolytes. So the day before you start keto, you need to have your electrolytes ready to go. You need to start them day one. It's not just the keto flu. There's other things. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to have no energy. People in the group who do not take my advice, they say, Chris, I'm getting leg cramps, or I don't feel well, or I'm just brain fogged. And first thing I say is, are you taking your electrolytes? No, I thought I could do without them. No, you can't. You're never going to enjoy all the benefits of keto unless you take your electrolytes. We used to get our electrolytes from the carbs that we ate, the magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Now we don't, because we're not eating all those carbs anymore. And so you need to be ready. You need to have your electrolytes in hand. Now, there's something very important about electrolytes that I want to explain. They are not all created equal. It's funny. You would think, especially these companies who say, oh, this is keto, keto, keto. You would think that they would all be great, right? Well, they're not. Do you know some of the keto electrolyte supplements have 3 to 5 carbs in them? They're typically the powders that you add to water. And you can add those 3 and 4 times a day. Well, if you're looking at doing keto, then you need to stay at 20 grams of carbs or less per day. Well, if you're drinking 3 to 4 glasses of water with your keto electrolyte supplements in it, and they're 3 to 5 grams, you've had all your carbs for the day. That's crazy. So you need to read the ingredients. My personal favorite are capsules. because they're strictly electrolytes. There's no carbs. There's nothing else that you don't need. Now, there's lots of other supplements. Those are fine. Those are your choice. But the electrolytes are critical. You need electrolytes. You need to have them prepared the very day you start keto, because you are going to be deprived of them from the new foods that you're eating, or the lack of foods that you're eating, I should say. And so have your electrolytes ready. So would you rather be prepared, or would you rather feel awful? No, don't feel awful. There's no reason for it. Read the ingredients. They're not created equal. Check the carb count, but start looking at getting your supplements. You are going to need them. Lesson number 3. Okay, did you know that if you eat too many fats, you will not lose weight? What? Are you saying, what? I thought keto was high fats. It is, until it isn't. Let me explain. First of all, it kind of shocked me that most of our new members coming into the program, they don't know about this. And so I explain it to them because it's something that you really do need to understand. So let's take a look at why this is. The more fats you feed the body, the less it will use your stored fats. In other words, we have now become fat adapted. If you're in keto, you know that your body now uses fats for your energy. Well, the trick of it is it uses the fats you feed it first, and then it goes in search of your stored fat. So the first month is different than each month thereafter. The first month you use lots of fats. That controls your hunger. It gets to where you are calorie deficient, and it gets to where you're learning to not eat 3 meals a day plus snacks in between. So it's very important initially. But after that, you need to start lowering those fats. You need to monitor your hunger level. If you aren't hungry, it's time to start cutting out some of those fats, because your body will use those fats you feed it first, not your stored fats. We want it to use the stored fats. So each month, it has to change. So month 1, you feed it lots of fats. Lots of fats. You're controlling your hunger. You're getting old habits out of the way. Then month 2, depending on your hunger level, you lower the fat content. Month 3, you lower it even more. And that goes on and on and on. And that's what they mean when they say use fats as a lever. But you have to learn how to take the fats out of your diet. So make sure if you're on a meal plan or you're making your own food, you're monitoring the fat level. It is critical because, like I said, your body will use the fats you feed it first. And we want it to use our stored fats. Make sense? Ready for tip number 4? Plan for success, prepare for failure. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Oh, but it's not. I promise you. It is so important. I keep wanting to tell you, this is the most important one, but they all are. And this one is no exception. So let's explain. You started out the week perfect. You did your meal prep. You said no to the sugar treats at work. You went out to eat and you didn't eat the mashed potatoes. That was planning for success because you knew the situation you were going to be in and you were prepared for it. But what about when those night cravings set in, right? Or the afternoon or the morning, or when you're out with family and they're having something to eat and it's not anything that you want to have. That's preparing for failure. So let's say you're home, for example. Clean out your cabinets. Make sure you have nothing in your cabinets that you are not supposed to have. Refrigerator, freezer included. Get rid of everything you're not supposed to have. And then put snacks in single serving size that you are supposed to have or you can have in your refrigerator, ready for those moments where temptation is going to win. That's preparing for failure. When you prepare for it, you will win. You'll still succeed. So make sure you have celery, pickles, cucumbers, olives handy and available in single serving sizes. All you got to do is reach in the refrigerator, grab a set, and munch on it. You're okay. They're low or no carb. That's preparing for failure. So that way, when you have those moments, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, whether it be you're going to go visit a family member, make sure you're preparing for failure. Take your snacks with you. Have them ready. Have them available. So if the temptation overcomes you, you are ready to go. So remember, we all have those moments that test us. Make sure you're prepared. Get your cabinets cleaned out. Have your snacks prepared and ready. And then you can fight the temptation. That's preparing for failure, which allows you to succeed. Tip number 5, mentors. Do you know who to talk to? Keep in mind, old habits die hard. You knew you needed a change a long time ago. Now you need someone that helps you stay on track. You are going to have questions. What you want to make sure of is the answers you are getting are the correct ones. So let's take a look at this. What can a mentor do for you? Well, when you have a question about a keto-friendly product that just came out on the market, but it says keto-friendly, is it really keto-friendly? Can you show it to somebody? Can they look at it for you? Can they say, no, check this out? Do you know how to read the ingredients and things? Oh my gosh, ingredients are so confusing and they use names to hide stuff. So does someone know how to look at that with you? Do you know about macros? Do you know how to adjust them? What do you do on cheat days? Are you going to have a carb loading day? What do you do on fasting? There are so many questions when you're starting keto. So many. And I don't mean just the first week or two, the first few months. There's so many questions starting keto. You want to make sure you have someone on standby who actually knows the answer. Not that someone can just give you an answer, but that has the correct answer. You are going to have questions. You need somebody who actually knows the true and correct answer to help you. So when you say, where do I find recipes? Okay, you need somebody that'll show you the recipes and teach you how to read them and how to calculate them and how to know what you're eating and know how many carbs and know how much fat you're putting in there. Remember, that first month is different than each month thereafter. Do you need to use a carb counter? What are the ingredients that I need to look for? Do I need to fast? If so, how often and when? And how do you come out of a fast? Can I have carb load days? What do I do if I cheat? Someone has to be there for you that can answer those questions, because if there isn't, you are going to get snagged. You may even get discouraged and quit. You don't want to do that. You really don't. Have someone ready and available to help you answer those questions, because you're going to need it. Okay, so let's recap. You've got to know your why. Remember, drill down on it. Drill, drill, drill. Keep asking why until there are no more answers. Make sure you have the things you need before you start. Know what they are and get ready for them. Have them on hand and ready to go. Fats are important, but you need to know when to lower them, and you need to know why you're lowering them. Plan for failure so you can succeed, and have someone who knows the answers readily available, and the correct answers, I might add. So those are the tips. Those are what you really, really need to do to be able to succeed on keto.